Hey, Terry. What a
Hey.
morning.
Oh yeah.
Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday afternoon. Yes, indeed. Sorry, folks. We're a little bit behind schedule today. It's my fault trying to do some last minute things and not being able to get them done on time. Sometimes I overestimate my abilities, Terry, which is I think sometimes it's a guy thing, right?
Yeah, me too. I do the same thing.
Maybe it's one of the reasons why we're not good at taking directions when we're driving.
Could be.
Mhm. So yesterday, Terry, we got off to a fast start, then got edged out, and then beat. But we'll look to rebound on Tuesdays. That's what Tuesdays are for. Tuesday rebounds, Terry.
That's right.
So speaking of which, we're kind of hoping that we can do like this. Well, you would think, Terry, with horse racing being around for God knows what hundreds of years,
Yeah.
that everything would have happened already, right?
Yep.
But apparently everything doesn't happen already. So there's a horse racing first. I think it was down in Australia. A maiden race where an entry for trainer David Kelly, they had a dead heat, stablemates. They hit the line together, and I think one of them was like 31 to 1. The other one was 61 to 1
Oh
for
my
a
lord.
Quinella, never mind an exacta, a Quinella that paid
Wow.
$225. Terry, what do you think about that?
Oh my god. That's really high. That's really somebody really happy, I'll tell you that.
So they said they asked the stewards if that had ever happened before, and they Googled it and looked it up on Wikipedia, and they searched around the internet, and they did not find an instance where a trainer had two entries in a maiden race, and they finished first and second tied at the dead heat, and then and paid $225 for a Quinella. That that sounds like our Tom written all over it, doesn't it?
It
Australian
does.
race with two maidens that hit the dead wire at 61 1 and 30 to 1.
Wow. Yeah, it absolutely does sound like our guys.
Yeah, it sounds like it has Tom written all over it for sure. So we'll see if on Friday if Tom has anything like that when we're doing our uh, weekend races, our Saturday races in Great Britain at I think Wolverhampton is the name of the place. It
Hmm.
sounds like a Marvel. It sounds like a Marvel comic hero, Wolverhampton, right? It sounds
Yeah.
like a place you go to and everybody's kind of like mad or unshaven, missing a few teeth, really jacked up. You know what I'm saying? It's the kind of place it sounds like to me. They're probably all fat, bright white teeth.
Yeah, sounds
Sound
like it
like
to
me.
me.
All right. So in Southern California and Australia, they're going to do a whole lot. So apparently, the California Horse Racing Board is going to take 23 horses that have some lameness to them in their legs. I
Hmm.
don't know what part of that leg it's called. It's the let's see, 23 controlled visible signs of. They have 23 horses that have they do have some weakness in their legs. So what they're going to do is they're going some lameness in their legs, and they're going to start MRIing these horses, their legs before the races to determine whether or not they can run. What do you think about that, Terry?
I think it's a good idea
Yeah, I think in
myself.
the ever evolving, change to make sure horses are safer, that everything could possibly be done to stop them from breaking down. Why not, right?
Yeah, yeah. You should do whatever you can to make sure a horse is fit to run.
So, on one hand, in California, you have people who are trying to get rid of horse racing. In the other hand, in California, you have people who want to give the horses MRIs.
Yeah.
Nah, so one end of the spectrum to the next for sure, Terry. It's
Well, just sounds like California to me.
well, yeah, that's where you live. You would have a great experience with that, wouldn't you?
That's right.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I always felt like they should do like a test of the legs on race day for sure to make sure that the horses are sound and ready to go. Do you know what I'm saying?
I do. Yeah. Yeah. I think they're doing a much better job nowadays of making sure a horse is ready to run. And, they check them prior to the race and they check, some little thing in the gate happens. They'll check them right away. And I remember way back in the 60s, they weren't that concerned or didn't do as much. They used horse break through the gate. They just stick it back in and go. They never did check it out with the veterinarian.
Way back in the 60s. The chairman of the Bob Baffert Club, Tom Carley, chimes in and says, yes, they're going to go through all the steps of having MRIs, but then let Baffert have one violation after another.
Yeah, I think he's right about that. He's pretty correct.
Well, he is the face of, would you say he's the face of horse racing in California, or would you say he's the hair of horse racing in California? What do you think it is, the hair or the face, Terry?
I think he's the hair.
He's the hair of California horse racing, I think, for sure. Well, you know who the best bet picker of horse racing today is, Terry? That's you. How did your best bets do yesterday?
Well, my first choice ran out of the money, but my third choice actually ran second.
Oh, I was going to say, usually it wins, right?
No, it ran second. Number 2, Roland Chrome, paid $380 and $280. So I'm looking to do a little better today.
Well, we have to do a little better today, Terry.
I do, yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I like in the 5th race at Turf Paradise, I like number 5, Whoa Nessie. Won his first race at Turf Paradise after coming in from Golden Gate Fields. Has a good jockey. Was in the last 7 days, has a record of 14 starts, 5 wins, 3 seconds, 2/3. Number 8 is my second choice, Just Classy. That
horse was named after me, Terry.
I know, you're very classy.
The classiest of class. And yeah, like summer vacation, my friend. That's how much class.
That's right. Well, he won his last race and now comes to try Turf Paradise for the first time. He has a good workout on November 19th at Turf Paradise of 47-1, handling for 4th of 49. And he also has an aggressive jockey named Jory Shriver. Now, she hasn't really gotten too many mounts and did real great so far at Turf Paradise, but she was the leading jockey at Grants Pass. And she's very, very aggressive.
And you would know about Grants Pass. You helped design the place.
That's right. So and then my third pick's number 7, Mind Me, lost all chances after clipping heels and losing the jockey.
That'll usually do race.
Yeah.
It's usually not when you see that in the program, that's not a good one.
It isn't. Now he has jockey Lindy Wade, who is winning at a 30% clip at this meet, and he also has a good workout at Turf Paradise of 1 minute and 1 for 5 furlongs, which was the best out of 10 workouts.
All right. So considering that the pick 4 at Turf Paradise starts in race 5, Terry, I think I have a sense of how you're going to start your Fly 4.
Yeah, I think you do, huh?
Yes, I don't think there are any secrets there today, Terry. What do you think?
No secrets for me.
All right. So let's go ahead and go to Turf Paradise where we're doing our Fly 4 today. Terry and I are going to put together a pick 4 where we both make selections. Each one of us has a lock where we can put the horse in, and no matter what the other guy says, we have to take him. But 2, we also have the ability to veto the other guy. So if Terry doesn't like what I have to say, he can tell me, get that crappy horse out of there. Because that one should be out on the farm as a pet, not in our Fly 4 picks.
Yeah.
Yesterday, as I mentioned, though, Terry, when we talk about this all the time before we get started, I want to make sure that we reiterate this again. A lot of pick 4s are probably one of the hardest races to bet sequences to win. Just for example, if there's 10 horses in each race, the odds of winning are 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. So there's a ticket that's 1 out of 1,000 combinations. Or 10,000 combinations, it's actually a winner. So is that right? 10 times 10 is 100, times 10 is 1,000, times 10 is 10,000. Yes. So 1 in 10,000 combination that you're going to hit have the winning ticket if there's 10 horses in each field. So yesterday we mentioned, go ahead and think about doing exactas, trifectas, and we talk about this all the time. In the first leg, our 3-horse won. It paid like $25. I had the 6-horse as my second selection. It finished second. That exacta for $1, I think, paid $161. Mm-hmm. In our Fly 4, we had the 8 as our 4th choice. If we had boxed that race up, Terry, the 50-cent trifecta paid $161.
Wow.
So that's why I would recommend not just necessarily doing the pick 4s, but if you're an exacta better or a trifecta better, look at some of these picks to perhaps add to your selections. All right, so let's get started in race number 5, Terry. This one is 7.5 furlongs on the turf. They haven't run very many races at 7.5 furlongs on Turf Paradise turf, Terry. But what they have run, 7 races, 4 of them were won by stalkers and closers. the speed horses, two of the four speed horses went wire. Two of the three speed horses, excuse me, my math, not bad, not good today. It's wire to wire. So usually, if they do win, they get up on the front and stay on the front. Average field size was 7.6 horses, Terry, with the winner being third or fourth at the quarter pole and the half-mile marker. 100% of the winners were posts 2 through 7. The rail has not won, and a horse with the number 8 or higher has not won. Inside, what do you like, Terry?
Well, I like the number 5, Whoa Nessie.
Yes, I think we knew that, right?
Yes, we did. We talked about that. He's sorry. She's only ran one time at Turf Paradise and won that race. But at this distance, she's 6 out of 8. She's won 6 races out of 8, and on the turf, she's 50% winner. She's won 6 out of 12, so she really likes the turf. And of course, this race is on the turf.
For me, I do agree with you. I like the 5 horse too. That's 6 out of 8 at the lifetime number at the distance, and there's only one, then 3 more in 24 races at any other distance. So clearly, the horse likes the distance, doesn't want to run anywhere else. 6 of those wins too were on 12 races in turf, Terry. So then took 20 races on a surface other than turf and only managed to win 3 of those. So definitely seems like a horse for the distance and for the surface. Anyway, my horse, and this is the one it's going to make this. Its name is going to describe how we feel when it wins, Terry. That's number 3. Happy, 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 happy. Did I put 3 happies in there?
You
number
did,
3
yeah.
happies. There's got to be some numerology in that, Terry. You're number 3, and you have happy 3 times. The horse has run at Turf Paradise 3 times with a pair of seconds in there, and it's run on the turf 3 times. So you got a whole lot of 3s going on here. But most important 3 to me, Terry, is it's making its 3rd start off a layoff. And somewhere out there, I'm telling you, there's a numerologist, astrologist telling me that I have to absolutely bet this horse. But it is a closer. It did improve in race number 2 off the bench by stretching out a half of a furlong. I think the half furlong move back to 7.5 furlongs from a mile is going to help. Happy, happy, happy. Turn all of those 3s into a 1.
Yeah, it really likes the turf, as you can see. She's only been on it 3 times and ran second twice, like you said. So, yeah, it looks like a pretty good horse to me.
Who else do you want to put in here, Terry?
Okay, I like next horse. I like number 8, Just Classy. She did come in from Grants Pass, where she won her last race. She's been on the turf 4 times and been in the money 75% of that time, winning one of those. She also has the jockey that I said was very
the aggressive Shori.
Aggressive, yeah.
Shori,
I really like her. So that's cool. And she's got the best turf speed among today's starters.
So I'm stuck between 2 horses in the last spot here, Terry. Number 7, who you had, is Mine Me. They did clip heels, lose a jockey last time. That's never a winning prescription. Is making the 2nd start off a layoff. Did put a bullet work in before that mishap. But the horse looks to me like that can't come from off the pace, can't come from off the pace. But I'm also looking at the 2 horse, Terry. Yes. That horse is Senor Adiablo. I don't know. Diablo. Yes. Senor Diablo. I get it.
Yeah.
The devil, the old man devil, Mr. Old Devil or whatever. But that horse is also one, Terry, that I feel like when you look at the late pace figures and when you look at the horse, so this race is on turf, right?
Yeah.
And the last time this horse ran on mud, which can be it's run on turf 6 times, but it also, when you look at the last race on mud, it put up an outstanding number. And that late pace figure for the 2 horse, Senor Diablo, was off the charts relative to everybody else. So when you see a horse that runs really well in the off tracks and then does have some decent experience on a turf track, sometimes that could be a positive thing. So which horse do you like better, Terry?
Well, I like the 7, but I also like the 2 because the 2 is my 4th choice. One of the things I like about it is it came in from Arizona Downs and promptly went into a $60,000 race. Yeah, stakes race. And it was that way over its head. Now it's dropped back down to Class today where it can be very, very successful. So why don't we put the 2 in there and we'll set the 7 off to the side.
Okay, we'll put the 7 off to the side. Can you go, Terry? I'm gonna leave this to start the next race up to you here real quick. My dog is at the door. She's crying like crazy. I'm gonna let her in. I'll be right back. 2 seconds, Terry.
All right. Well, listen.
Who do you like? And start race number 6.
Yeah, yeah, we'll do that for you. So I like in race number 6. I start out with the horse, the number 6 horse, because the number 5 is basically was my first choice, but I now see that it was scratched. So I'm going to the number 6. I like the number 6 as it's
Come on, girl. This way over here.
just missed by a nose in her last in his last race, and he has the highest last speed rating. Was best start speed is faster than the average winning speed here, and it has a couple of decent workouts. It's been at Turf Paradise, ran 5 times and finished in the money 4 times. So I think this is a good choice for the first pick.
And what number was that?
Number 6, Herzen.
Number 6. Okay, yes, I have that as my top choice too, Terry.
Mm.
It's funny, dogs, animals, no. She's sitting over here looking at me like, how come you didn't let me in? She got the eyes. You know how dogs get with the eyes like.
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
she's upset with me. My chubby blonde Labrador girlfriend. All right. So for me, Terry, my next pick in here. Oh, let's talk a little bit about the distance. So they have 6 furlongs. This is interesting, Terry, about this race. 25 races, Terry. 24 of the 25 races, so almost 100%, were won by horses that had speed. 10 of the 25 went wire to wire, Terry. Most of the time, the winner was second or third at the quarter pole and the half-mile marker. Almost all of the winners came from posts 4 through 7. You've had 6 winners, I think, and posts 1, 2, and 3. Everybody else came from 4 through 7. So I'm gonna go with number 1. It doesn't go through 4 through 7, but the post horse does have some wins in there, Terry.
Yeah,
and that one horse is First Call. If you look back at its race last time out, it did get to the lead, Terry. I feel like the horse is going to be on the lead again today. It's dropping in class. That class relief should help the horse. Coming out of the gates, you saw a nice improvement in its early pace. So I expect you'll see this horse up on the lead, second time off a layoff, and a horse that's been lightly raced. Should see some major improvement for First Call. Hopefully it's enough to go from First Call to first place.
Yeah, that was my third pick. So I think it's a good pick and drops in class today. The trainer wins 17% of the time that he enters a horse in a sprint. And the early speed running style will help the chances of First Call. And I think, if you look back at that race at Arizona Downs where it ran on top, got a really good speed rating, won by 3.5 lengths and at 6 furlongs. So I think cutting back from 6.5 to 6 furlongs is really good for this horse.
Who do you want to put in third? To me, Terry, this is the link where we need the least amount of horses, I feel like.
Okay, well, I would go with number 7, March on Lynch. The trainer wins 27% of the time when horses broke its maiden and is brought back. It won by 13 lengths at Emerald Downs, and it has a decent workout at Turf Paradise, 5 furlongs, 101 handling. Fourth best out of 9.
So you like the 7, Terry, and I like the 5. So let's talk about these 2 horses. The 5 horse, like the 7 horse. Both of these horses I was a little bit concerned about because they both took a long time to finally break their maiden, right?
Yeah, but I think, let me stop you there. I think the 5 is scratched, is it not?
Oh, I don't know if it's scratched. Then
yeah, the 5
I didn't have it
end.
So it's scratched.
Yeah, because it was my first pick. So
all right,
Stepford in.
Then we don't have to worry about that. Yep.
No.
All right.
Yeah, he's been scratched.
That's going to change my fly.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's not been scratched.
All right, you're confusing me, Terry.
Yeah, I'm confusing myself. He's the first time start as a gelding. So
yes. So looking at Stratford, well, that's one of the reasons I like it, the 5 horse. But when you look at the 7 and you look at the 5, they both are coming off maiden claiming wins. I'm not a big fan of horses that come off maiden claiming after 10 times to go ahead and make this one won its 9th race. The 7 horse took 10 times to break its maiden. Neither one of them ran the top last race speed figure. So for a horse to run that many races, one of the things I'd like to see for a maiden to do is show the top last race speed figures. So March on Lynch, he ran at Emerald Downs. So did the 5-horse, right? No, he's coming from Canterbury Downs.
Yeah.
We've seen the Canterbury Downs Turf Paradise angle play out a couple times doing this before. What I also like about this horse, though, Terry, is that in the back, he's coming in from Santa Anita, Del Mar, Oaklawn Park, then ran at Canterbury Park. So he's been facing tougher company on the first tier circuit versus the 7-horse, which is coming in from Emerald Downs. Both took a while to break their maidens. And then when the 5-horse got to Turf Paradise, it's on November the 19th, put in a bullet workout, 46. So he ran a half a mile in 46, which is the fastest of 49. And if you look at the horse's times in races, that's equivalent to what he's actually running live in the race. I have a feeling that this 5-horse is really going to love that Turf Paradise course and get to the front and be really hard to catch.
Yeah, I agree with you. Now that I realize it's not scratched, it actually was my first pick to start with. Matter of fact, you'll see in my hot dog that I singled this horse.
Okay.
Yeah, and not only did it have that bullet workout 19th, but on October 18th, it went 59.3 for 5 furlongs, which is pretty blazing workout.
And one of the things too that Terry and I've been talking about off air is one of the angles that seems to be working very well. And one of the things that I've noticed is like when I go back, I do this all the time, and Terry, I know you do this too. We both look back at our when we miss, why we missed. And I try to look through the past performances to see what I could have found to find that horse. And one of the things I've been noticing lately when we miss a horse a lot of times is that horse has was bet really low last race and disappointed, had low odds. This horse has been the betting favorite, I think, in something like 7 of its 9 races. So, and that's at Del Mar, that's at Santa Anita. And I'm going to feel bad because I didn't put him in my hot dog pick 4. But anyway.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So the 7, we have 7s on the side just in case there's scratches. So I feel like we should move on to the next race, Terry.
Yeah, I do too. I'm fine with all those picks. So
yeah, I think we have the winner in one of those 3. I hope anyway. Race 7 is 1 mile. I always feel like we have the winner in our picks, but sometimes we do and sometimes we don't. Claiming $3,500, non-winners of 2 lifetime, top tier horses, of course. 1 mile on the main track, Terry. They've run 18 races. 12 of them have been speed horses, Terry. Only 1 of them went wire to wire. So you have the average field size is 8.4 horses. Most of the horses are third at the quarter-mile marker, then go on to win. Second at the half-mile marker. It looks like you have an outside post advantage here where the winning, it's kind of weird because from 7, the winning percentage is from 7 down. It's wider from 7 down to the 1. So the farther outside you are to the 7, the more they win. But if you get to number 8, they haven't won a race yet, which is kind of weird to me. Right?
It is. Yeah.
So, but in any case, I'm going to start mine. Don't you just love when you try to do first, like 2 maidens that hit the dead heat at the same time?
Yeah.
Hopefully we have $255 come out of it. But I'm going to start with Shotgun Rider, Terry. Horse is making its 3rd start off a layoff. Should improve. Was just recently claimed. And as we know from talking to trainers, over and over and over again, when they train a horse, they have when they claim a horse, they have a specific spot in mind. This must be the specific spot for Tina Birdwell. The horse was the 3-5 favorite last out. I'm expecting the horse to bounce back off of that in the 3rd time off a layoff. And let's see what happens, Terry.
Yeah, I like that horse too. It's my 3rd pick. And I love horses that are coming in from my area, Golden Gate Fields. And it had won a race there at a mile. And then, of course, it's got a lot of early speed, but it can also come from behind. The trainer wins 20% of the time on the 3rd race after a layoff. And this the best dirt speed for this horse is faster than the average winning speed of these horses.
And he ran in Santa Anita. They paid $52,000 for this horse. Now he's running and claiming $3,000.
Yeah.
We should head out to Turf Paradise and buy him. Give him to Bob and see what happens. We'll give him the good hay.
Yep.
All right. Who else do you like, Terry?
I like number 4, Blues Rapper. Ran at Turf Paradise for the first time. and at a mile, and ran a really good second, closed from seventh place to come into second place. And he came 5 into the stretch, 5 wide. So the trainer wins 22% of the times that he enters a horse in a route.
For me, yeah, I had that horse. I'm kind of torn on that horse because he finished. I know he finished second by 3, but he was also at the second call. He was 5th by 3 1/4. So, and then at the in the stretch, he was 4th by 2 3/4. More like I think the other horses died and he just kept on than
Could
really
be.
closing, which is what. But the second start off a layoff should be an improvement. Although last time in a second start, the horse did regress. It regressed 3 races in a row before it started to pick up again. So I did have him in my 4th pick, Terry. My second pick, I think, is kind of a wild card in here. This is a horse called Back Alley Cat, the 6 horse, coming in from Canada. So I don't know how the Canadian tracks stack up.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there because
that one is scratched.
I am sure that one's scratched because I liked it too.
All right, so then I'll go to the 2 horse then, Terry.
Okay.
All right, so then I'm going to have to make some changes then into my when we do on the fly for our hot dog pick 4. So the 2 horse for me, Terry, is Midnight Luck, Terry. That last race at Emerald Downs wasn't a very good one on September the 26th. But prior to that, the horse ran close to the front. And I do like the fact that the horse does have a history at Turf Paradise, where it has a win and a pair of thirds in 4 races. It's also run at the distance 5 times. It has a win and a pair of thirds at 5 at the distance. I expect that you'll see the horse who's put in some pretty good workouts since arriving from Seattle at Turf Paradise improve and run back to the Turf Paradise form versus the Emerald Downs form. And he's doing that while he's dropping in class. So I feel like the class relief, the fact that the 2 horse Midnight Luck has run better, his best races at Turf Paradise. And then when you look at those workouts say maybe he just likes to track. And because he likes to track, I hope he runs a little bit better at 8-1 morning line.
Could be. Yeah, I'll go for that. I didn't actually have it in my picks, but I'll go with that.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Who else did you have?
I like number 7, North Fork. Ran second at Turf Paradise at the last race at 6 furlongs. And, was closing. So now he stretches out to a mile. I think the mile will help. Anyway, he comes in from Eli and Wyoming Downs. But what I really like is that if you look at his last 4 races, each race he's improved his speed rating for the last 4 races. So
that's always a positive. So if you were going to put a horse to the side, which one would it be?
Okay.
Well, for me, Terry, it would be number 5, provided it's not scratched.
No, I don't think 5's scratched.
All right. So
Saddle See Me. Yeah, I like the 5 also. So
all right. So we put that one off to the side. So finally, let's wrap up race number 8. Howard, are you going to start race number 8? Terry?
Okay. I like number 3 in race number 8. More power to him. The horse has got the highest last speed rating. He ran first race. He came in from Golden Gate Fields again and went to Mountaineer. Mountaineer, he ran 3rd and only beaten 3/4 of lengths. Then he came to Turf Paradise at a mile on the turf, and he ran 4th by 8. But he came 4 wide into the stretch, and he's got a trainer that on the second start with the turn wins 25% of those races. He's got the best turf speed among today's starters, and he's got a really good jockey who in the last 7 days has won 5 out of 14 races, ran second 3 times and third twice.
I like the 3 horse as well, Terry, as my top pick. This one is 1 mile on the turf, Terry. They don't run very many at that either. They've had 8. They've run 9 races there, Terry. Believe it or not, 1 mile on the turf, which is kind of weird because it's different than 7.5 furlongs on the turf. If you remember, we started the sequence with 7.5 furlongs on the turf, and it was a stalker closer distance. Well, at 1 mile, it's speed because 8 out of the 9 winners were speed horses, Terry. 2 went wire to wire, and then you have, as far as the average field size is 8 horses, Terry. The average winner was second at the quarter pole and that half-mile marker. So be close to the front, co-pilot, not pilot. And it looks to me like you want to be on the inside 3 with the rail has won 3 out of 9 so far, but some of those inside horses haven't done very well so far, the one or the two. But the 3 horse I feel like is the best of those inside 3 horses as well. I like number 6 here, Terry, as my second selection, and that is Wicked Fortitude. It's a horse that last time out, again in Canada, so this is the Canadian angle. I don't know how that's going to play out, but the horse has been on the lead last time out. If you look at and this is something I like too, I'll bring it up on the screen. This horse is making its debut on turf. So if you haven't had a horse that's run on turf yet, you kind of wonder what it's going to look like. I always take a look at the off-track numbers. The horse has run on the off-track. You could see over here 5 times, has a win, 2/3, and a second. So never ran off the board on an off-track. That tells me that there's a good chance. I mean, it's not perfect. No angle in horse racing is perfect, but there's a good chance that Wicked Fortitude's going to like the turf. Does have the ability to run right on the pace or right off the pace, which is the way to win. So I like the 6 horse here, Terry.
Yeah, I do too. It's my second choice. And the breeding suggests it will like grass. The dams produce 1 turf winner already, and the trainer wins 20% of the time when a horse has won and comes back as a claim repeater. This horse is going for a hat trick. So I think it's a good choice.
All right. So who's your 3rd choice here, Terry?
Okay, I like number 7, Playoff Bound. He returns to the turf, and I think that'll help improve. He doesn't seem to like the dirt, but he seems to really relish the turf. If you look back 3 races back, at a mile he won on the turf, and at 7.5 furlongs he ran 2nd and 3rd. And he's won 7 out of 18 races on the turf, and he's been in the money 13 times. So I think he's also got a really good workout on November 24th, 46.2 handling. It was the 2nd best out of 42 workouts.
Well, I certainly hope you're right, Terry, because those last 3 races on dirt were pretty bad. 20 lengths, 22 lengths, 40 lengths away from the winner. I did not have him in my picks, but I'll put him in there. He's a little bit of a long shot in there. I'm going to go. So this is our 4th and final pick, Terry. I like number 8, Blue Azul. The horse last time out, and it's the 3rd time off a layoff. It did put in a stretch shot for the first time in a little while. It's going to be making its 2nd trip at a route. The horse has done some really good work at Turf Paradise, up on the lead at 1 mile, so it's run there before. This is not on turf, though, so this is a horse that's making its turf debut. Has run on the turf twice before. Didn't run very well, but has some pretty good workouts prior to this race. I feel like it's a horse that has a chance to surprise in its 3rd time off a layoff. The horse was claimed last out by Mark Esquivel. And again, I'm of the belief, after talking to Robertino Diodoro and other trainers, that when they claim a horse, they have a specific race, specific setups in mind. Trainer Marcus Squeeble has to think that this horse can do well on turf, and that's why he's putting him here. It's a little bit of a price too at 6-1. I got a feeling his odds will probably go up too, not down.
Yeah, and I also like the number 8 Blue Azul. He's my 4th pick. He's got a really good jockey who's winning at a 21% clip. And as a matter of fact, the last 7 days, out of 6 mounts, he's had 3 winners, a 2nd and a 3rd. And the horse this year has been 5 times in the money 5 times out of 8 starts, winning 2 of those. This horse also, like you said, has 2 bullet works in a row.
All right. So, Terry, if you're going to put a horse to the side for the scratch, who would it be?
I really don't have any other horse, but let me look.
Mine would be the 2 horse, provided it's not scratched. Speaking of scratches, Terry, and 2 horses, the 2 horse in race number 5, I looked it up while we were on air. He scratched. That is the Senor Diablo. So we'll go ahead and take the 2 out of there, and we'll put the 7 in there in its place. That takes care of that. So I don't think any other horses are scratched. You're right. Number 5 was listed in the race day changes, because, as you mentioned, it was the first time the horse had been listed as gelded. So I think we don't have any scratches in our picks. Looking at our pick 4, this is $96 at Turf Paradise. Let's hope we hit some prices, Terry. Race number 5, we have the 3, the 5, the 7, and the 8. Race number 6, the 1, the 5, and the 6. Race number 7, the 2, 4, 7, 8. Race number 8, the 3, 6, 7, and 8, Terry. How do you feel about that one?
I feel pretty good. And after we talked, I looked at a horse I put to the side in case of a scratch. It'd be number 4, Real Glitter.
On in race number 8.
Number 8, yeah, he ran second his first race at Turf Paradise, and so that would be a horse that I would have for a scratch.
That would be a horse you have for your scratch. Okay, so let's bring up our, and again, mine is going to be a little bit off the hot dog pick 4 because of the scratch. So Terry went with 5 and 8. And then in race number, well, go ahead, tell us what you have there, Terry.
Well, yeah,
I don't have to read it for you.
In race number 6, I have the 5. I actually thought it was scratched because I didn't read. Sometimes when I look at the scratches, I don't read the comments. I just assume, okay, there's the numbers it's scratched. Well, it's not scratched, so I really like the 5. So I singled the 5. In the 7th race, I like the 4, 6, 7, and 8. In the 8th race, I like the 3, 6, 7, and 8.
And for me, in race number 5, I have the 3 and 5. The race number 6, I have the 1, 6. I'm going to add the 5 there, Terry, because in the next race, the 7 horse, in the race number 7, the 6 horse is scratched, Terry. So I'm just going to go 2 and 8 in race number 7. Okay. And then in race number 8, I'm going to go with the 3, 6, and 8. So I'll pull that up. Let me just make that adjustment, and I'll pull it up on the big screen, Terry, so that people can see what my new pick 4 looks like for the hot dogs. And let's see. All right, here we go, Terry. Ready?
Okay. Yeah.
All right, so this is my new pick 4, Terry. So let me just bring it up in here so we have it. Here's my. I got to pull the screen out here. Hold on. Too many buttons to press at one time, Terry. There we go. So there's my hot dog pick 4. It's 3, 5, 1, 5, 6, 2, 8, 3, 6, and 8, Terry.
Okay, and I've got to make a change because in the 7th race, the 6 horse is scratched.
All right, so who are you putting in there?
I'm going to put the 5 in his place.
You're going to put the 5 in his place. Okay, so here we go. This is what they should look like, folks. 5, 8, 5, 4, 5, 7, 8, 3, 6, 7, 8, 3, 5, 1, 5, 6, 2, 8, 3, 6, 8. Terry's is $16. Mine is $18. I'm glad we got that all squared away finally, Terry.
Yep.
That was a byproduct, folks. My apologies of us being behind the times today. Otherwise, we would have had it right. All right, finally, let's do our box it up. It's a new thing Terry and I are doing. It is where we take a race with 4 horses. And yesterday, I don't think either one of us collected anything. Did we, Terry?
Well, I did have an Exacta box, yes.
Then how much did that pay?
It paid $22. So.
Oh, not bad. So what we're doing is we're $1 Exacta box, 50 cents trifecta box, 10 cents superfecta box, a total of $25. So Terry was $3 short yesterday. I was $25.20 short. None of my horses did well. Terry's going to do Turf Paradise, race number 7. Tell us what you have.
Okay, I like number 4, Blue Rapper, with number 6, Black Alley Cat, with number 7, North Fork, and number 8, Shotgun Rider. But the 6 have been scratched, so I'm going to have to put the 5 in there instead.
So where are you going to put the 5? At the top or the bottom?
It really don't matter because you're boxing it. So
yeah, it doesn't really. So Terry's is 4, 5, 7, and 8.
Yep.
And I'm at Penn National today. I picked Penn National because a guaranteed tip sheet. It is our free track of the day, Terry. So if you head on over to Guaranteed Tip Sheet, you will see when you go to the homepage that you'll see here it says Penn National is free. And if you page down to race number 7, I think it is, if I did it correctly, if I remember for the top of my head. What race is this?
Penn National. You want race 3.
Race 3. That explains it. Okay. So you'll see Combating is a best bet, followed by number 4. By number 6, Assault Weapon is the second bet. Tyler Connor, friend of the show, is the jockey there. But then we have the 7 and the 8. Ask Neil and Bush Latte. Who wouldn't want a Bush Latte for breakfast? A little beer, a little bit of milk. Sounds like a great tasting thing to me, Terry.
Oh, yeah.
But you see the 8 horse is 12-1. The 7 horse is 10-1 morning line, hoping then to catch a nice Exacta or trifecta in there with a price. If one of those 2 prices hit, then the Exacta or trifecta should be high paying as well. So you can find those over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. It's absolutely free. Just need to register and get the free picks for the day. All right, Terry, after all sorts of trouble at the beginning, running a little bit long today, scratches on the fly, this has been a day that's kind of been ad-libbed all the way. Hopefully it comes together like the A-team You remember watching that show, The 18
do,
with Mr.
yeah.
T? Yes, and
Yeah, Mr. T with the gold chains and all that stuff.
how like during the course of the show, it was just everything was kind of like all over the place.
That's right.
And at the very end of the show, when they caught the villain, like the good guys always should, they would say, "We love it when a plan comes together."
That's right. And that's
So
the same with
hopefully,
us.
when our pick 4 hits today, we'll be like, "We love it when a plan comes together, despite the chaotic show." Terry, if people liked what they saw today, what's the best thing they can do?
Well, on YouTube, they can go there and take a look at us. If you like what you see, you can, give us a thumbs up
And
you
subscribe,
can
yes, at Horse Racing
subscribe.
Radar TV. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Horse Racing Radar TV. And also, you can go to Facebook and give us a thumbs up there and a like. And go ahead and Twitter and in Twitter Horse Racing Today. So
yes, you find them both at Racing Radar, Facebook and Twitter. We're at Racing Radar. So check us out there. Give us a follow. Like Terry said, thumbs up or like us. It helps us with their algorithms, gives us the right ratio so more people can find us. If you like what you saw, too, another thing you can do is help us by telling your friends about us. Word of mouth always works well, right, Terry?
It does. It does. So I hope you do that.
Indeed. And we hope, Terry, that you stuff your pockets full of cash with whatever picks you make today. And may they all, like your life, Terry, end up in the
winner's circle.
Absolutely. Have a fantastic Tuesday.